Hi guys, just thought I would pop in and do a quick chocolate cake for you guys. I know the other chocolate cake that I made is real intricate. It's from scratch, but this one that I'm going to do tonight is from scratch too, but it's really simple, really easy, and you just need a 13x9 cake pan. I've already sifted the flour together. I've got flour all over me from that, and but it's really quick. It's a cake that you can make during the week for your after dinner dessert. It does not take long at all. So I'm gonna bring you all on over and show you all the ingredients and get started on the cake, okay? All right. Okay, I thought I would just do a little cake while I was waiting on the rolls to rise. I was doing some homemade rolls for another video. And so this chocolate cake is actually a cake that my mom would make for me for my birthdays. And she would make it on holidays too, but I would request this cake for my birthday as well. And all you're gonna need is 2 sticks of butter and 3 to 4 tablespoons of cocoa powder and a cup of water. And you're gonna put that in a saucepan and bring it to a boil. I'm gonna go grab a cup of water. That's the one thing I forgot to do. Okay. So you're going to want to bring that to a boil, and you want to have your oven preheated at 350, okay? And I'm going to put mine on convection. And I'll put it at 345 because my oven gets pretty hot. And so then you're going to sift together a teaspoon of baking soda, 2 cups of flour, half a teaspoon of salt, and you're going to use 3 cups of sugar, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at my mom's recipe. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, so it's 2 and 2. So two cups of flour and 2 cups of sugar. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my sugar added. And that wasn't quite a cup of sugar on each one, so I'm just going to come back. It was about 3/4 of a cup each time, so I'm just going to add another 1/4 of a cup of sugar to that. Put that in the sink. Okay, and then I'm going to add in the flour, the baking soda, and the salt. Okay, and so all we've got to do is just whisk this together, and you want these ingredients to come to a boil. And then once they do, then we're going to pour it into the dry ingredients and mix. So as soon as this comes to a boil, I will bring you all back on. Okay, so this is at a boil. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off, and then I'm going to go ahead and pour it into the dry ingredients. And I did go ahead and unbox my mixer, my new mixer, and I'm enjoying it so far. This is going to be the first thing I make with it. And so I thought it would be really a fabulous idea for me to make my favorite chocolate cake that I used to love when I was a kid for the first time with this new mixer. So I'm very, very grateful for the gift. I really, really am. I'm very appreciative. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start mixing. And I'm using the paddle attachment for this. And to this, we're going to add 2 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla, and half a cup of buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, on my mom's recipe, it says you can use sour milk. And then I also know you can use whole milk with some lemon juice, but it has to sit for a while. I think it has to sit on your countertop for maybe about 15 minutes, and it'll turn it into kind of a buttermilk type taste. Okay. All right, that looks good. So now all you're going to do is just add your wet. And then it'll be ready to go in the oven. So I'm gonna add my buttermilk. And while this mixes, I'm gonna get the 13x9 pan and go ahead and get that floured and everything for the cake. And then that's the teaspoon of vanilla at room temperature, and then 2 eggs. And this is the cake pan, and it's funny, this cake pan that I have is the same cake pan that my mom would make this chocolate cake. She would put it in this cake pan. So it's the same one from when I was a kid. She gave it to me. So I'm going to use that. It has a lot of, it's very sentimental. Okay, and that is it. And so, let me get that paddle off there too. That's it. And so you're going to go ahead and pour your batter into the cake pan, and you're going to bake it on 350. Of course, mine's going to be 345 for 20 minutes. Now, I'm using my convection setting, so it's supposed to bake more quickly than the conventional oven when it's on convection. So I'll probably check this cake at about 15 minutes and see how it's doing at that point. Scrape these sides down some. Okay. And the icing for this cake is really easy too. I'll come back on and show you how to make the icing. It's just a glaze. And during the like holidays, my mom would make this cake, and I don't know if she would do this or not, but it just tasted like she did. It tasted like she would add maybe a teaspoon or half a teaspoon of cinnamon to it, so it tasted kind of like, you know, the holidays or what have you. Now that might have been a mental thing for me. She may not have added cinnamon at all, but in my mind during Christmas time, this cake took on like a cinnamon taste. So I don't know, that might have just been, like I said, you know, just the fact that it was Christmas time, but I was thinking that it tasted that way. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and place it in the oven for about, like I said, the directions are 20 minutes. I'm gonna check it at about 15. Okay, y'all, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the frosting. Right now I've got a tablespoon of Hershey's cocoa, a teaspoon of vanilla. We're gonna do 3 tablespoons of milk, or you can do heavy whipping cream, and half a stick of butter. Okay. And then you're gonna do 2 cups of powdered sugar, and then you're just gonna mix everything together, and you're gonna pour it over the cake as soon as it comes out of the oven. So that's why I'm trying to hustle and get the frosting going, because it's supposed to be over the cake when it's hot. And I'm gonna mix this first and then add another cup of powdered sugar. Oh, let me turn it that way. As this mixes. And I had to soften my butter because for some reason I thought the frosting was like cooked on the stove, but it's not. And so I don't know why I thought that. So I had to soften some butter in the microwave. Okay. And I'm gonna add that other cup of powdered sugar. Like about 3/4 of a cup, and I think that what's left in there is going to give me my cup, just because it's just a little bit left in the bag. Okay. And I'm going to show you all what the frosting looks like in just a second and get it mixed together. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And when it comes out of the oven, when the cake comes out of the oven, I'm going to put it on the cake, and then it will turn darker, and it will turn into kind of like it'll turn into a glaze. Is what it'll turn into. And you can actually, after you put bring the cake out of the oven and put the icing on there, I mean, you can serve it then, because it says to serve it hot if you know, people want it that way or what have you. And I've had it cold too, so I mean, it tastes good cold, tastes good hot. So I think it's a good cake for kids, you know, because kids can't, you know, they're like, I want some cake. They don't want to wait. You know, most of the time you have to wait. It's got to cool off. But this cake, you can eat it hot. You know, the frosting's on there, everything's on there. So no waiting needed other than the bake time and the making the frosting time. But other than that, and you really don't necessarily have to bring out your big mixer to make this frosting. You could just use your hand mixer or mix it by hand, because it's not a difficult frosting at all. Okay, so this is the cake. I hope y'all can see it. It's ready. It's right out of the oven. And I'm sorry I have this big pot in the way, but hopefully you'll be able to see. If not, I'll bring the cake over there. That's all you're gonna do. That right there, and let it melt. And it'll go down in the sides of the cake, you know, and all of that, in the corners and everything. So it's all that icing is just underneath the cake, and it's everywhere. And I do reserve some so that when the cake gets a little bit cooler, you can add some more to the areas that may have thinned out because you add, you know, because it was hot when you added it. So I reserve a little bit for that purpose, but you know, you can do what you want to do, because you know, since the cake is high in the middle, then of course everything runs to the side, so then you end up losing the frosting in the middle. So I tend to reserve some just for that purpose, for when the cake gets a little bit cooler. Let me show it to you. And like I said, this is perfect, you know, school night, work night, whatever, dessert. It doesn't take long at all. And so that's what it looks like. And then I'm going to cut a piece so you can see. My soup is, let me turn it down some. Probably cut myself a big piece. I love this cake. Look, it's falling apart. Hold on, let me get a kitty spoon. I may edit this out and cut another piece when it's cooled off so it doesn't look so crazy. But I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna eat this too. See, I'll probably cut another piece and put it in here so y'all can see a good piece, but that's what it looks like on the inside. It's not dry at all. Very, very moist. Reminds me of my childhood, I swear. I think I have a picture of myself standing next to this cake as a kid. My mom made for me for, I don't know, I think it was for a birthday. Really good. Okay, guys, well, as usual, I enjoyed you guys today. Love connecting with you all on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, and thank you so much for joining me at 234 in La Casa. Have a great evening. Bye.